You know that when we talk about that classy, elegant, and bossy look, we can't take it away from a piece of jacket. And that is why I advise that a piece of jacket of different types, if possible, is a must-have for every single person out there, be it male or female. And this jacket in particular that I'm going to be showing us how to make is not an exemption. In fact, it is a must-have for every one of my elegant, classy, and bossy lady out there. So with that being said, you're welcome to another tutorial video. If you're new here, you are most welcome. My name is Chinwe for short. And if you're a returning subscriber, I love you. Thanks for always coming back. So like I said earlier, I'm going to be showing us how to cut and make this beautiful, perfect, classy Queen Anne or built up collar jacket. If this video is the one you're interested in, which I'm so sure you are, sit right back, relax, enjoy learning. Lest I forget, do not forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so. Give this video a like and share your thoughts down below in the comment section. So without further ado, let's dive right into the tutorial. So guys, to start with, this is our simple blouse basic bodice pattern. Just in case you do not know how to get this done, I already have the tutorial on my channel, so you can go check that out, then come back, to continue with this. So you just basically draft out your basic bodice for your simple blouse. So this is for the front, and I have also for the back. So I'm going to be drafting out our built up collar jacket from this simple blouse basic bodice. At the base of the neckline, I'm going to be coming backward by half an inch. So I come backward by half an inch, and then I move forward. I go outward by 3/4 of an inch. Okay. So from here to here is half an inch, and from here to here is 3/4 of an inch. And this 3/4 point, I'm going to be connecting it from here to the half waist length. Here is the connection, and then I extend it upward again. So the measurement for this extension, beginning from this point upward, is going to be the measurement of the neckline for the back. Here we have the neckline for the back. So we are going to be taking what we have from here to this point. So you measure like so. So we have a total of 4 inches. You come back to your front, and from this point, you're going to be marking 4 inches from this point to this point. Next, we'll measure what we have from this point to this point. We have a total of 1.25 inches. So we come to this point here, we mark the same 1.25 inches, and we connect. So the next thing, we are going to be carving out our neckline. Just watch carefully what I'm doing. So you see what I have here. So I'm going to be doing the same thing to this other line. But in doing that, remember we have here to be 1.25 inches. So I'm going to be following that shape, marking out 1.25 all the way. So next, I'm going to be cutting along what I already drafted from this point, as from the half waist. So guys, this is what we have, and then I get another plain pattern paper and I place it over like so. I'm going to be tracing out what we have here, that is from here down. So I take this out just like I did to this other one. I continue marking out the 1.25 inches so that I can connect. Please note that this particular pattern is going to be used as a facing to this, okay? But in the case where you do not want the facing of your inner jacket to be this slim, which is exactly what I do not want as well. I do not want it to be this slim, but I'm doing this just in case you want to just use this to tape this, okay? This is just going to be used basically for taping of this part, but I want it to act both as a taping and also as an interfacing to some certain extent for the front. So because I want this to act as an interfacing, so I just basically bring this back and just trace out my shoulder line, and then I take it out. I'm going to be cutting like this and like this. I'm going to be showing us exactly how shortly. So by the time I use it to turn this, so this is how far the interfacing is going to go. And for this other part, I'm going to be completing it using irregular interfacing. So guys, this is basically how to go about the cutting of your built up collar jacket or your Queen Anne collar jacket. So this is the front, this is the front main bodice, this is the interfacing, and then this is the back. Okay, so I'm going to be cutting the fabric using these pieces. Here's the fabric I'm going to be using to cut this, and then I get the front pattern, I place it on it. Please note that I've added all the necessary seam allowances to the basic bodies of the simple blouse. The only place I'm going to be adding seam allowances is just around the Queen Anne built up neckline. Every other thing here have been taken care of in terms of seam allowances. I leave some space here, and that is about just half an inch at the front here. So I just go ahead and add half an inch to the front of the pattern like so, and this is going to be used to turn the facing. Watch closely because I'm not going to be marking it all the way up. As I get close to the neckline, I stopped, and then I connect all the half inch in front like so, but at the neckline area I connect it back to the exact shape of the neckline, that's in front like so. But at this upper part I mark out half an inch for the stitching allowance, and also at the back of the Queen Anne neckline I mark out another half an inch. But for the shoulder and the armhole area I am not going to add anything. I'm just going to be cutting exactly what I have, okay, because I already have that sorted out. So I connect the point at the upper and then at the back of the built up neckline like so, and then I'm going to be cutting out what I have at this point. So this is how the cutting goes. Please guys, if at this point you haven't subscribed, please endeavor doing that. Also like and drop your comments in the comment section, and do not forget to tell somebody that a beautiful channel as this exists. So I continue with my cutting, as you can see, and after the front cutting I open it up. So this is what the both front fabric look like. Can you see the built up neckline? This actually came out really beautiful. So this is what we have for the front. So let's proceed to the back cutting. So for the back, please note that this is a jacket or even a shirt. You do this, you apply the same thing. I'm going to be adding 2.5 inches extra to the length of the back. Okay, that's the upper part at the shoulder slant area, and then from that point I'm going to be marking down 2 inches. That's for the neck depth, and then mark 2.5 inches, no, 3 inches for the width of the neckline for the back. This is me just trying to make sure that I have the exact 2.5 extra for the back, and then I put back my pattern paper at that point and I extend the shoulder, that's sorry, the armhole length to that point. So at this point I'm going to be cutting out with this, that this is my new length for the back. And next I proceed to the cutting of the back. So after I'm done cutting the back, please note that for the center back, it's either you slash it open or you just stitch it down. That's just to give it that jacket look at the back, at the center back. To have a stitch at the center back, it's always better that way. Next I'll be cutting the interfacing for the front, and remember that when I was cutting the main fabric I added an extra half an inch to the front like so. So you remember what I did at that point. That's the same thing I'm going to be doing to the interfacing. That's this one I'm going to be using the interfacing, and also I am using the main fabric for this point, for this interfacing, but the rest of the inner part of the jacket is going to be irregular interfacing. Okay, so this is the one for the interfacing. You can see it's not as wide as the main one. I'm going to be using a regular interfacing to complete that. So for the back I also cut the facing for the upper part and complete it to the regular one. Then for the stitching proper, now I'm going to be holding these two together. You get the two together and then you use half an inch to hold them together. That's for the interfacing, and then the main fabric as well, you just hold them separately. After you are done stitching this the built up area, you're going to be opening it up with a pressing iron. Give it a good press because this is a jacket, and for jacket making you iron as you go. Like there is no shortcut unless you want to have a very tacky and very dirty jacket at the end of the day. So I have that done, and I'm going to be putting a stay, that's an interfacing, to give it the firmness that it should have. So I'm going to be doing that to almost every part of the jacket is going to have an interfacing. So this is what it looks like after I've put an interfacing on them. This is the interfacing. This is the inner part of the front, okay, and then this is the inner part of the back as well. So this is what they all look like with their interfacing on them. And getting back to the stitching, this is the front, that's the main bodies, and then the interfacing. So I open one up and then I place the other over it like so, and I'm going to be stitching using 1/2 inch from this center area, that's the center neck area. I stitch all the way down, and then I flip over to the other end. I also stitch all the way from the center neck all the way down to the other side. And by the time I am done, this is what it looks like. So I'm going to be notching all the way from the other end to the other end. And after the notching of this part, I come over to this other part, can you see, and then I notch very little on both sides. So this is what the notched part look like. So this is what they look like. So I'm going to be opening it up and then proceed to the ironing table and give it a good press. I would reiterate again, please iron as you go. Iron as you go. This is a jacket, even for any other dress you're making. So I give it a good press, and by the time I'm done, this is what it looks like. Like, this is really coming out very beautiful and pleasant to the eye. Can you see how clean it is looking? So this is what your jacket should look like. So this is what it looks like for the front after I'm done stitching the two sides of the front together. And next I come over to the back part. So this, I get the back part, and then I get the center. I notch the center neck of the back, and then I get the front. I'm going to be holding it together with the front. This is the main body of the front and then the main body of the back. So I'm holding the piece together without the interfacing. Okay, I can see the interfacing is still apart. It is just the main bodies that I'm holding together. Okay, you can see how I am trying to carefully make sure that the neckline is well laid. So I take it to the stitching under the stitching machine, and then I stitch along. Be very careful at this point so that that corner area is not looking tacky. Make sure it is well laid and relaxed. Okay, so I stitch both sides of the neck. You can see how it's looking. This is what it should look like, coming out very neat. And by the time I am done with the neckline and notching, this is what the outer part look like. And you see how relaxed this is looking. There is no folding anywhere, no folding of any kind. This is what it should look like, and I've not even given it a good press. By the time I iron it, you're going to see that it's going to come out looking very relaxed. So for the interfacing for the back, I notch the center neck as well, and just like I did to the main bodies, I'm going to be doing the same thing to the interfacing around the neckline area. Exactly what I did before now is what I'm doing to the interfacing. So this is the interfacing of the front and the back being stitched together. So after I'm done doing all that, I also give it a notch. I notch every part of the neckline for relaxation. And after that, this is what it looks like. So let's proceed to the ironing table and then give it a very good press. And after all said and done, giving it a good press, this is what we have. This is good. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Let me leave it at that. This is good. So this is what the back look like. This is what the inside look like. And you see how clean it is looking both on the outside and the inside. So this is it for it. Bye.